We're just starting to nick the compound with the chuck jaw, so that's pretty much all she wrote, but that turned out better anyways, because when you get right down to the end, it just folds it over. Not too hateful. Let's deburr this, get it in the gland. Hope it fits. That ought to do. Shh. I wasn't just cutting that with a hacksaw. More snug than I'd like. There, she's moving. Comes the tricky part. Let's try to wrestle this big, we gotta wipe it down, it's dusty. Let's try to wrestle this big rod back into that cylinder bore. It's just kind of heavy. You're all nice and lubed up. Hope for the best. Get in your hole. Oh, come on. Whew. Ta-da! So we're working on old Johnny number 5 again. We got the main lift cylinders rebuilt. We have the tilt cylinder rebuilt for this side. We have to remove the tilt cylinder from the other side to get that out of there to rebuild it. But we're going to start by trying to get the main lift cylinders back in the mast, get this tilt cylinder back in, and then we'll start taking apart the other side. We have the cylinders over here laying on the floor. There's the main, the longer one is one of the main cylinders for the lift and the mast. There's the larger diameter, shorter one. So we need to get all 3 of these back in Johnny number 5. This thing's still ridiculously heavy. It took me a minute because I forgot I need to take the fitting out with that spring-loaded flow control and the snap ring on the end. That way we didn't bung it up trying to get it in there. Oh. Okay. Ow. Okay. We got it standing up in there. Right here she is vertically. But we have to lift it from the top and try to get that pilot diameter on the end where the fitting comes out to go in the hole on the main frame of the forklift. Just got to get her piloted back in there, but to do that we got to lift it from the top and drop her down in. We got the rod pounded in a little bit. Let's see if we can't get it up and over. Oh, yeah. Okay. Get in your hole, little guy. Yeah. Gotta get our snap ring back on. And then our basically flow control fitting and our steel tubing line. Like, listen to that Harbor Freight jack squeak. Okay. Okay. I had to stop and reconnect this line over here before. That way we could still get it moved around and in position before we tighten that bottom up. It's all in down there, but what I did notice, we made a huge boo-boo here somewhere along the line. We pinched this hose in between the 2 sections of the carriages, so that might be destroyed. I hope not, but it's probably gonna leak oil out all over there. We got the tall, long lift cylinder in the back end. That's the first one that needs to go in. And then we were able to manipulate this around to get that hose free. I hope it wasn't pinched too badly, but at this point in time, I can't even tell. That's the one that hooks to the main lift cylinder here. It goes on the outside. So let's get that cylinder drug over here, get her jammed in there, and well, see what happens. All right. I think she's in position. Oh, the other one's leaning on it because it's not hooked in at the top. So we're gonna have to hook that longer lift cylinder in the back and the top side, if we can get it there, just so it's not leaning this way and pushing on this guy before we put the retainer bolt bottom. The chain guide that goes to the cylinder we just put in is just hanging on the slack of this orange ratchet strap here. We need to lower that back down so we can bolt it into the cylinder. The tricky part here is doing this without pinching the crap out of your fingers. It's not all the way down yet. It obviously has to go to there, but it's caught in this block here in the carriage. So you need to lower this whole unit down to get that to come down. Yeah, I think we're there. Close enough anyways. This isn't the best thing to do here. Had to get the jack out. We don't have the room, so I got a pry bar I'm standing on, but the cylinder's hooked now. So we're gonna have to step on it and then pound on it. There we go. Woo! Finger pincher. The tiny spanner wrench did the trick. All we gotta do is get this chain back on down there, tilt cylinder in, other tilt cylinder out, rebuild, and then maybe not have to replace that hose we crushed. I'm hoping not, but we're gonna roll the dice. Now, why didn't you guys remind me I needed to put this bolt in here on this cylinder? Definitely didn't do that yet. This is where you start to get a little scared. Okay. Oh man, you gotta put your whole arm in there. Barely fit my wrist in there. This thing comes down, it just ripped my whole arm right off. Well, hand. Whew, we made it. Get out of there. Finally, the come along is off of the forklift mast. That thing's been on there since the beginning of August. Forward progress. Very slow, but forward. Now we're on the hardest one that I can remember taking out, but the bad part is I don't remember how we took it out. This is a tilt cylinder that goes in here, it goes underneath this guard, comes back out in here, pins on in here. Problem being is you have to work the hoses on and off while it's in there, which is a really, I don't even remember how that happened, because there's one right here underneath this cover, just buried in there. Yeah, it reached from this way. I don't know. Just got to feel around, see what happens. Okay, we got that one started. Let's try to get the front one started and make sure we can move it to get it. What's happening? Well, we got it started, but to get it on there, we barely got it on there because it has to go around this horn for the clevis. Now we need to get the front side one started and then tighten this one up. And that was the nightmare because I had to stick my wrench in there and go just a little bit at a time. Try to get that hose on the cylinder end and tighten. We got the orange glow heater all fired up right next to Johnny number 5 here. It's a chilly morning. It snowed yesterday for the first time. Everyone's still in bed. It's a perfect time to get in here and tear into that other hydraulic cylinder. Hopefully that one comes out and goes back in a whole lot easier than the right side. If we get in here and look, this one actually has an access hole. And the fitting is right there. I don't know why the other side didn't have it, but hopefully that helps us get this rear fitting out that's back here off. Now the front one, I think maybe this hose right here might be for the front connection. Now you disconnect it right here and then take it out. That way you don't have to disconnect it inside of there. We'll see though. So 2 pins. 2 hoses. Should be easy, right? Finally, she just slid out just like butter, right? The excitement that I had from the beginning was quickly depleted because the hoses that were on there wouldn't come out of the hole with the hoses on there. So yeah, I was able to disconnect this back here. I slid it over to the end of the hole or opening and fought with it for a long time. And I ultimately ended up having to undo this hose while it was still in the hole, just closer to the opening. Ooh, gotta be a better way. This locks the disc basically to the gland, so it's less likely to unscrew. So loosen that up, slap our cool tool on here, and then get the ratchet on her. Oh. So the last rebuilding patron was here, and this is probably punch driven, but the hole is not really round anymore. It has a egged out portion there, and it keeps wanting to spit the tool out. So we might just have to do it the old-fashioned way. Oh boy. This could be a bad idea. Oh boy. Oh. Woo. Finally. I hope you got that. 30-inch long, 1-inch drive ratchet. We had to drill out the pins to the bigger size because they were already bunged. But really what saved us here is this ratchet strap, and the stop collar in the cylinder is actually holding the pins in to keep them from spitting out. So ratchet strap, 30-inch long ratchet. She finally broke loose. Way too tight. There we go. Oh, that's nice. Starting to unthread the rod from the clevis. Oh. Pile of goodies here, I think. Rod wiper, V-pack for the piston, O-ring for the piston, and then this is the rod seal. It's a poly seal. This is where I screwed up on all the other seals that I purchased and needed the spacers. I needed this style of a poly seal instead of a standard T seal is what I got. Here we go. Whoa, slippery. First rookie mistake on this. Okay, there's probably several. But definitely a mistake is expecting that to go back together easy. We got to ratchet this thing back. That ought to do her. Woo! Don't slide off of here. Woo! Let's hope it goes. Tight squeeze. Here's the first real load old Johnny number 5 picked since the rebuild. Now don't go doing this at home. This isn't the smartest way to do this. Let's get it out of here and get her down. Kind of a maze to work around here. he can fork again. Johnny number 5 is out of that spot he was wearing into the concrete, and he's actually working again. We got the air compressor off the trailer. The trailer's out of the garage. That was a long time coming, taking up way too much space just to house that air compressor. Now we can work on getting that air compressor up in the shelf that we're going to build for it. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Leave your questions and comments in that section below, and don't forget to punch that subscribe button your way out. Good, Johnny. Good, Johnny number 5. Thanks for watching, everyone.